Good evening. Alexander Watson here again to give you a little insight on leadership in the workplace. Today we'll be talking about adaptability. Adaptability is the ability to make fluid changes in your decision-making processes as conditions around you change. So, what does that look like? Let's say you've been leading a team of 6 engineers for 3 years. You've worked on a couple of major projects, had great success, things have gone really well. You and the team get along fantastically. Everything just gels, everything just works. But then the economy takes a turn and some high-paying, lucrative jobs open up for these other engineers and they start leaving the company because the pay package isn't the same. That happens. Now let's say you hire in 3 to 4 new engineers to replace the 2 that you lost because they've got to get caught up to speed on some of the new projects that you got going on. Well, now you have to be adaptable because now you've brought in new personalities. You have to change the way you inspire and lead your team to achieve goals and conditions set up by the company that you work for that want a certain product delivered or software delivered or technology delivered, something of that nature. Well, you have to be adaptable as a leader to their personality style. So you're going to lead differently with the new team because components changed, personalities have changed, conditions of the program that you're working on, the project that you're working on has changed. So you have to be adaptable in that situation. You can't be rigid. The problem with being rigid is that you think one key fits all locks, and that's just not the case. Master keys used to work. Master keys still work in some buildings, but for the most part, a master key is only going to get you into a couple of doors. And really, we want to find a way to access all of the doors available. So what does that mean for you? That means that you're going to have to take a little bit of time to develop the skills necessary to be adaptable in the workplace. Now, you have some built-in things in your neural network in your brain. The way you think about things is kind of set, and it's hard to get out of that. Let's say, for instance, you've got a guy that usually has a project, his portion of the project done a couple weeks early, so you get used to that. That's no longer the case because that guy is gone. He left and went somewhere else. Well, now you got a new guy that gets it done a couple days ahead of time, but you don't have enough time to go over his material now before it's time to implement that into the next step with the other guys. Now you feel rushed. Now you feel hectic. You don't think you can get everything done and completed and put together in time. You have to put yourself out on a limb a little bit more than you used to. You have to show some trust in the skills and abilities of your team member that you're not really that familiar with yet. All of those things start to build up and you can get very stressed very quickly. The key to it is to be adaptable. Take a moment, slow down, back off on the process. Think about what's going on. Think about what you can do and how you can go maintain it. Talk to the team member and let him explain what he's done in that process. So that gives you a little bit of leeway to relax, say, okay, I can trust you on this. You got this. And that's going to build your relationship with that team member. It's going to strengthen it because this person's going to be like, hey, you can rely on me. I'm going to prove it to you. You, on the other hand, have to see that that is the case. You have to accept it, and then you have to move with it. So adaptability in the workplace. It's a great lesson to learn. I really think that you should spend some great time on working on your this week. Look up some stuff on emotional intelligence. Look up on some stuff on people-centered connections, communication with individuals, different personality types. There's a DISC system, that's DISC, of personality traits, and you can figure out kind of what makes your guy tick. Is he detail-oriented? Is he people-oriented? Is he task-oriented? Does he like to be inspired? Does he like to be creative? That's the I trait. You got to figure out what your people are like. So spend some time, invest a little bit of time and energy into learning about different personality types, emotional IQ, empathy, and then figure out how your personality will plug in and play, so to speak, with the group that you have. Now this is all small group interactions. Now when you're managing a lot of people, that kind of goes by the wayside a little bit, but not much, because still, when it comes right down to it, your interactions, even if it's 100 people, you're still interacting with each individual within that group, but it's at one time. So it feels like you're not giving individual attention to anyone, you're giving individual attention to everyone. Now that can be daunting. You can think, well, that's a lot. Well, it is. It absolutely is. But make sure that the message that you send is clear, concise, and inspiring. You want to move people to do something. And you do that by gaining their trust. You gain their trust by being transparent. You're transparent by saying, look, I'm not the expert here. I don't know exactly how this is supposed to be done. I don't know exactly how to do this, but I know the talent is in this room to make this happen. Look at Steve Jobs. That's exactly what he did with Apple. He didn't personally know how to make the iPod the iPod. He had a team of engineers that did that. And then he went up and presented it to the world, and that was great. But the one thing I was kind of wondering about was like great leadership skills all the way across the board. But I didn't see a lot of recognition for the engineers. And that was the one thing I was kind of like, wow, that's something you got to really do as a leader, something that you cannot miss out on. Give credit where credit is due. You trusted your team to deliver. They delivered. Give them the credit for it. Yes, you were the leader. You are the one that kept everything together, so to speak. You're the one that helped finalize the project. You're the one that helped create the product, whatever it might be. But everyone in your team, everyone in your circle, everyone that you are a leader over contributed to that success. So make sure you recognize that success. I do that every week with my SGOs. My SGOs are guys that are starting a program, long-term recovery program at a homeless shelter. And when I talk to them on a regular basis, it can be something as simple as passing a UA or getting their homework done. Awesome. You did that. Great job. Even if I helped them a lot, sometimes I do, they still put forth the effort, and I give them recognition for what, hey, you did it. You made it happen. Let's go on to the next thing. Let's do that. Let's make that happen. But anyways, inspiration, absolutely key to leadership. You have to be able to inspire your people to want to do the work for you, and you need to be the one willing to do the work with them. All right, that's all I got for today. Make sure you come back in a couple of weeks. We'll put up a couple more videos, and we'll talk about another aspect of leadership. Have a wonderful weekend. Have a great month. Love y'all. We'll see you next time.